Yeah, we got the cash like a month after, but tulikuwa tushachukua loan, so I was able to pay for school. Oh, but that made me really a bit popular in school because my mom told everyone when we got there. Si tunajua mkiadmitiwa shule mnaenda mnaanza kufanywa search. Yes, hapo tu kwa hiyo search. She was telling the house captain, my school mom. She was just really proud. Yeah, so going into high school, people already knew I could sing. Yeah. So the only challenge with high school that I didn't find for primary school is that high school walikuwa na demoralize like activities zenye some music festivals. Kwa hizo activities it's like utaki kusoma ama wenye wanakuwa kwa hizo activities hawako serious. But primary ilikuwa like wow. So your transition ndio ilikuwa tricky kiasi. Unafanya feel vibaya juu uko talented. Like bro, I didn't choose the talent. The talent chose me. Yeah, also the balance. I think also the reason why they used to demoralize like a lot of activities is because most people didn't have balance. Even me, I was struggling to balance out because you have to study. Not primary, the advantage was I didn't really have to study like really, really hard. For some reason, things just used to click. But in high school, like when you feel your effort lazima ikuwe more. And at the same time, rehearsals, music ni all the time. Sometimes at a prep time, mnaenda kurehearse. So ulikuwa unaona tu ati mnaenda kurehearse prep time. Watu wako like hawako serious. Na sisi akina nani, we don't care. Sababisha. Yeah, and also high school it was less about being talented and more about kinda funky. Yeah. People didn't really care if you could sing. I think the only symposium nishaenda ilikuwa science. Na ndio hiyo ulikuwa unajifanyia tu project yako una present if it makes sense. The languages stuck for me and bio. Math ilikuwa na ni realize later ni kusoma tu sikuwa nasoma. Unaona the thing with math is always skip class ya last. Tulikuwa funky last week. Then at this week ukiwa class unachukua tu vitabu ati you're picking up from where you left off kwenange hivyo. Math is like you have to study all the time. Hapo nilikuwa nashinda. Languages you can pile up work and then just study eventually because ni kusoma tu, but math hapo nilikuwa nashinda. Yeah, math I think really have to pick up later hapo form 4 because I was just like, hey girl, you have to pick a struggle. Boys kuna feel came na man like pick a struggle, so nikasema acha tu ningangana na math. Chem say it's too late, so nikangana na math. Chem ilikataa, so math at least. No, bio mimi nilikuwa napenda yote. Bio was good. Bio to me made sense. Like it was practical. Like this is the uterus. Yes, because it's there. Chem to me it was like we're just making all these things up. Like this is not necessary. Like in your bio, like you're bound to experience some things. Like you have a heart, you have a lung. But chemistry, physics was just never a match. I think physics nilipotea form 1 when tulianza kusoma about pressure. I remember just being in that class and thinking, this is not for me. This is not for me. Yeah. No, I feel like in primary school it was more, and also because I loved doing it, it didn't really feel like there was so much opposition. But high school call of opposition more. And also I preferred music class to music fest. Music fest ilikuwa for the funky. Tuseme tu kweli hapo nilijoin ndio niweze kutoka nje ya shule. Ilikuwa outing. Na juu ukifanya music festival na ujue ukiwa unacheza instrument, like you just pick a piece ya piano piece hata kama ni beginners, hiyo ni direct to nationals. Yeah, so that was no. But music class nilichukua music as a subject for form 1 before teacher tuache, and I really loved that one. Like hey, nilikuwa na enjoy to the fullest. That's the one thing I regret wenye walitoa shule. But high school, sasa sema ili build a team music wise. I can't really say that. The thing about me is I'm a material girl, okay? Material girl.
In a material world.
So I'm the type of person who just wants more, right? And in my mom's house, ile kikwambia pesa salon ni pesa, ni pesa. Shauri yako hiyo style yenye unataka. Na mimi ni material girl. Nataka kukaa hivi, nataka kufanya hivi, nataka hizi zote. So I wanted to make money, and at the same time I wanted it to be something to do with music, but I didn't know what. I didn't have an idea. Then I saw this poster on WhatsApp about a songwriter who was looking for people to sing. Kuna songwriters wenye wajui kuimba, na for you to sell music, say I told you like I write music to sell. For me to sell a song, siwezi kuandikia tu lyrics nikwambia ndio hizi lyrics na kuzia song. I have to go to the studio, record the song, sing it venye inafaa kukua, so that when I sell it to you, you actually see like what I'm trying to sell you. Like let me actualize. And it makes sense from say. That's how it's supposed to be. So that person who sings a song that's not hers, the song is called a demo. Unaandika hiyo demo, unapatia the artist kama imeshatengenezwa, then sasa ana-record, then ana add flavor zake. No, you have to go to the studio and create like beats. It's like making a song, but it's not yours. At least right now tumefika place yenye wase wanajua like unaweza fanya production kama hizo home, like you can have like a home studio na unaweza download beats YouTube, ama make to like a simple something uandike uimbe tu juu yake ndo uweze kuuzia mse. But back then you had to go to the studio and just like record. So that poster was going around WhatsApp, and what you had to do was send a voice note of yourself singing to the number that was provided, and then atatuchagua. Hiyo ndio siku nilijua Nairobi kila mtu ni musician. We were like 1,000 people. We were like 1,000 people. I think tulikuwa like 1,000. Aka reduce, akakata I think tukakuwa like 100. I think to add kwa WhatsApp group. Watu walikuwa wengi. Tukaanza kukatwa pole, then akachagua I think 10 of us. Was it 10 or 20? 10 of us. And tukaitwa meeting. I remember that's when I met some of the people that I know now in the industry. Do you know Waithera? Yeah, I think that's when I met Akina Waithera. There was a guy called Moon. There was, I think, Elvis who, like, we were a bunch of people. Even my friend, Denise from high school, she was there. Yeah, she can really sing. But I was the only rookie there. Like, I was the one who was fresh. Everyone else there like knew each other. It's like walikuwa kwa industry, because most of them had gone to Sauti and stuff. Me, I was fresh out of high school, so I didn't really know anyone except Denise, who was in my high school. I also met a very talented guy called Wanjine. Who else was there? Wanjine alikuwa hapo.
How old are you by this time?
I was 18. Yeah, I was 18. Who else was there? Yeah, I was 18. I think those are the people I remember. Moonboy, Elvis, Waithera. There was a girl called, I think she's an NRG right now, Daria Kish. That was a really interesting meeting. Not sure that back then we didn't know each other like that, but looking back, I feel like everyone really blossomed, and that's great. But after the meeting, I feel like people are expecting to get paid more, because najua wase walikuwa na experience kwa industry. Yeah, so I was the only one who remained. And I ended up singing all those 10 songs that we were supposed to sing. Like, all those people are supposed to sing the songs, and then I ended up singing all of them, which was more money for me. I'm not complaining. And that's how I also started going to the studio. Hapo nilianza kujua like kurecord. I hadn't started writing music yet, because the songwriter was writing the songs and then I was just going to sing them. So sikuwa najua like kuandika music yet, and just because I hadn't tried it, I assumed I couldn't write. And then I also had the mindset that kuna watu wanaandikanga songs na kuna watu wa kuimba. Like, that's how I got into the industry, nikifikiria. So even like my first song sikuandika, it was written for me, and I was okay, and I felt like mtu amenielewa like my voice, and I was like, oh, this is great. All I had to do is sing. I love this. Yeah, and And because I was a demo singer for that lady, I ended up getting like a free song, and that's how I recorded my first song, Thinking. Yeah, it just means someone writes songs and you sing them and they're sold to other people. You're just actualizing the song when inafaa kusound, ndio mtu akiuziwa aone potential ya song. So no one will ever get to hear your version except you. Yeah.
The person buying.
Yeah. I joined campus in 2015 as well. May, I joined Egerton in town. My mom was not having it. Unajua mimi last born. And by this time kila mtu ameshahama home. So it's just the two of us. So bado alikuwa na hiyo kunishikilia kwa taka niende. No, there's a town campus. Ilikuwa tao.
So more like you're commuting from home, ama
Yeah, no. At the beginning, like the first year, I was still living at home. Then pesa nikaniingia. And I became wild. Nikaomoka kiasi, nikajiona nimekuwa mtu mzima, nikahama. The thing my mom will tell you about me is that mimi ni kichwa ngumu, in a good way. If I believe in something and I want to do something, I'm very stubborn. I'll do it, and it's because I'm the one who's living my life, and no one can really understand what I'm going through or what I'm feeling except me. So I feel like decisions zingine lazima nijimeke because I'm the one who knows. Yeah. And some things with me is that if I don't do it, I'll always be left wondering what if. So heri tu nitoe what if, hata kama nita fail, hiyo kitu iniondoke, nijue tu hiyo easy. So it was hard, but I moved out. It was really hard. Like in the beginning it was fun. Unajua ukihamanga the first month una feeling freedom. Unashangaa watu watanipigia simu saa ngapi. Naweza toka usiku, naweza toka mchana, naweza toka anytime. But the bills. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like when I first recorded my song, it hadn't really hit me like what was going on. And I'm very privileged that nilianza tu hivi and then things were just happening, and sikuwa na time ya kuprocess, na nilikuwa na assume kama ni kawaida, because I recorded kurecord that song ni si kawaida because people pay money for studio sessions. I recorded a song just like that, and then written and recorded, and then after that fortunately J Blessing, who was then a very known director, I was fresh out of high school, I didn't know these things, I didn't know the industry. So apparently he was in the studio, he was friends with Saint P, and that's where I had recorded my song with a producer called Benali. So they were all friends apparently, and they liked my song so much, so they played it to J Blessing. Asikie tu when alisikia, he was like, I have to shoot the video to this song. So mi nimerecord song, mi nimeacha studio, niko like, well, mnitumia audio mi niweke, nifungue YouTube channel. I had no idea, like sikuwa nafikiria sana, I was just doing it. Mnitumia song yangu mi niweke YouTube, maisha iendelee. But then J Blessing akasema tuende to come meet, that pretty much like 2 days after I recorded the song, just shortly after. Then I was just like, this is really weird, mbona ametuita. Then nikaambia, I think I told my sister tunaenda meet J Blessing. She was like, that's a really big deal. Yeah, because he's a very known director. Na alikuwa kila time ukiwasha TV ilikuwa tu J Blessing. But mimi sasa sikuwa najua juu I'm fresh out of school. So nikaenda meet. It was a really good meeting, and immediately tumekuwa na meeting. He's like, do you want to go back to the studio and record something else? I'm like, I mean yeah, why not? Yeah, this another session, you see. So, and then now we recorded the song, right? And then the video costs money, and as much as J Blessing wanted to shoot the video, we need the money to, he's not charging us a director's fee. He in return wants to upload the song on his channel, then he'll shoot it for free. But at the same time lazima to book mavitu, equipment, vitu kama hizo. So the lady who was the songwriter, her name was Susie Hits, akasema this sounds like a label already, because it's like she paid for the song, right? And now there's a video to be shot and she wants to pay for the video as well, like equipment. So she was like, instead of us just going with the flow and winging it, because now it's a lot of money involved, we could come up with an agreement and just like make it a label and make this like a long-term thing, but like we're just one song and then tutumie pesa yote kwa video and then ishie tu hapo. It doesn't make sense. And I was like, you know what, yeah, that actually makes sense. And that's how the label started, just like it's evil too, yani thinking, yeah, no, thinking back, I'm just like, technically the idea was inspired from that setup of me singing. And also the guy that I was singing with, huyo name pia he wasn't signed, so pia akakuwa part of the label. Like ilikuwa tu just a flow that I can't explain. And at that time maybe nilikuwa na underestimate how crazy that is, because these people don't know me at all. They've just met me and they're willing to invest thousands in my music. But still, I don't think ilikuwa many hit at I take serious back then. And then after we released that first song and we tried to do a second one, and it took so long to do because we couldn't find a producer who understood me. And at that time I think we were not talking to Benali. I think something transpired between them and we were not on talking terms. So we were trying to find a new producer and it was just really difficult. A label is a team, so if one of the people in the label is not in agreement with the other person and that person of the label is mtu ako juu kama mwenye label, there's nothing I can do. So we ended up looking for other places to record and it was just not tulizunguka, we really tried, and by the time we were getting a song, we went to shoot it and we spent also so much money on the second video and it never was released. The director alipotea nayo. So at this point, sisi wote tunasikia tu give up because it's like, yeah, we don't know the business aspect of the music, and that's why we're making so many mistakes. And if you realize, between my first song Thinking and the second release, it was like 2 years before I could actually like now 2 years. Kwa sasa unaona pesa tumetumia ni kama 100k imepotea hivyo. Si kwanza unahitaji time relax. Recover na pesa si zangu na mimi mwenyewe sina pesa. So at that time I just decided to focus on school. I still used to go to the studio to record the demos, but my music was on hold, and I was frustrated that my music was on hold because now I was in a label. But at the same time I had to understand that hii label si ati ni mtu ati ni tycoon amekuja kutuinvestia pesa. This is a hardworking person and it's her own personal money, and it's imepotea, imekunywa maji, and it's a lot of money. So it's not just something that we can just bounce off from and then just continue. And then the thing with music is that it's a continuous investment and haikulipi saa hiyo. So imagine kama 100k sharp kunywa maji saa hiyo na bado unafaa kutoa zingine na seti utapata pesa ati next month. It's crazy, yeah. So slowly I realized I felt that withdrawal from the label. We still maintain a friendship and we were just trying to do our best to study the industry, but at the same time I was feeling like my music is on hold and I just wanted to be part of a team that had more awareness of what to do, not to waste so much time ku release projects. Na pia to see make more mistakes za kupoteza pesa kama hizo. So there was like a dilemma in me between continuing like the loyalty to this person who's become my friend and also like the label, and at the same time being loyal to myself and my music. Yeah, so we tried, but then we tried, and then it just got to a point where we had to split ways. Honestly, I don't know if it was mutual because my approach was very timid. I feel like I should have been more open and just communicate instead of just like holding easy feelings za kufeel atufanyi enough, you know. So tulianza tu kunyamaza. It was just like some quietness, and then I just started doing my thing. I was still presenting myself as if I was in the label because I wanted to be loyal, you know. So I was still going to the studio. At this point now there's no money from the label at all, and at that time I had made some money from the COVID competition, that one, yeah. And there was also another online competition going on in Nafanya. It was from a company called Ace. They were trying to invest in creatives, so I also made some money from that. So hiyo pesa zote nikaunganisha, nikaanza kwenda studio uko Hailmind with David Goro and a producer called Aubrey, and they really helped me out. Ni kama mtu alinifanyia hizo songs bure. I paid almost nothing because they just really believed in me. And I'm grateful also because the lady Susan from the other label is the one who introduced me to Aubrey and to David, and we just took it up from there because I didn't want to stop. Like this, I didn't want to just stop hata kama hakuna momentum. I just kept going. So nikaanza kurecord, and I also shot a couple of music videos, and that just kept me going during... Nilirecord EP yangu inaitwa Feelings. That's when I recorded my song Hold You Down. Yeah, For You with Mbithi and other 2 songs. And I was very proud of it because I felt like, nimeisweatia, nimeifanyia. Yeah. And that's when I can honestly say, now to answer your question, that's when I can honestly say that was when, I was intentional with my music. When I went to record that EP. Looking back, honestly, it's just my love for music. The thing with music is it's like a calling. You can't escape it. Sometimes I was just like, I don't want to do it, and I'd take a break from even like singing. You see the way you're saying I'm singing all the time. There's times where I didn't even want to sing, but then it's a calling. You can't escape it. It gets, after some time, after a couple of weeks or a month or 2, you start to feel really empty, like really, really empty, and you find yourself going back. So I can't really say it's mentorship that kept me going, because at that time, like I said, we were both very new, so there was not much guidance in terms of like how to maneuver the industry. Like tulikuwa tujui vitu sana. So it was honestly just a love of music. Actually, kama ingekuwa your calling ya music na if passion, I don't think ningeza ku persevere your time. It was a very difficult time, like looking back. There's times where I didn't even want to get out of bed. And it might sound like I'm ungrateful because I still had things going on in my life. Like nilikuwa nakula, nilikuwa na kwa kuishi, but when you keep going at something and it's not working out, inaanza kufanya feel sijui. And then it's something that you can't escape because it's like your gift, it's your calling. It was a really difficult time. So I'm just grateful for the passion. Otherwise, I don't think we'll be here today. Yeah. One of the people that I can say your time, and mostly 2020, was Akina Aubrey and Guro. Hiyo time ilikuwa the first time nilikuwa sasa naanza kuandika songs zangu. Hold You Down was like now my first song nimejiandikia yote mzima. All other times I used to get a lot of input. So this was the first time I was coming out of my shell as a songwriter, and I was very sensitive. Like nilikuwa naogopa kukosea ama nilikuwa nangoja opinions za watu sana. So it was really nice to have guys like Aubrey who were just assuring me all the time. Pia yeye kunipatia studio time hiyo time ya COVID. Venye kulikuwa kumekauka, hakukuwa na do. So mtu anajitolea toke kwake pale anaishi anakuja studio tu juu yako. That's crazy. Na pia Goro alikuwa anajikaza sana kunipushia songs zangu like online, and he didn't have to. You know, he charges for that, right? But he was trying to help me out a lot, so I'm really thankful for them. Also, like Susan from my old label, as much as we were withdrawing from the label aspect of things, she was also still like my friend at that time. Like we could talk, because you know the thing with being an artist is it's hard for someone who's not an artist or someone who's not in the industry to really be able to process like what I'm going through. You know, people just know the glamour. So okay, to explain like these other things, it's just like, I understand, but just keep doing it. You know, and I get, so sometimes it just helps to have watu wako ndani to yeah. Honestly, I can just say hizo pesa za COVID na hizo vitu zilinieka, but I had side hustles that I was doing, and I was also fortunate to be staying. Oh, Shout out to my sister. Yo, my sister, how can I forget to say this? My sister, during COVID, unajua time wasanii tuko na make pesa at all because hakuna shows, hakuna anything. So I'm fortunate to have a sister who had a house that I could live in and didn't have to pay rent or nothing.
She hosted you.
Yeah, she hosted me. She hosted me. Alinilisha, alinivisha. My sister is really my best friend. Yeah, I love you so much. Catherine, she knows. That's my G. Actually, if that time I was shooting my video, Hold You Down. It's her. It's all her. I shot Hold You Down and For You at her house. I shot Hold You Down with her car. Tulienda kwa tulikuwa tuna Chalo alikuja tu kwetu. Ilikuwa quarantine pia. Hakuwa na move around. Johnson Chalo alikuja kwetu. Oh, shout out to also Johnson Chalo for the good rates. He came to our house. My sister akatupikia. Ndiye niko na sister mpoa akatupikia. Tukashuta hapo kwa balcony kao. Hapo nje kwa corridor, kwa compound. Tukatoka nje tukaenda huko kwa shule zenye ziko huko kwa viwanja. Like we really had to maximize because the budget was really small. And she was also in the video with me. That friend of mine, Denise, the one I was in high school with, she came to the video with me. She did my makeup. Yani, thinking about it, kama siya watu sijui kungeenda aje. Ilikuwa na budget. Because also like, ukitumia pesa zote na haujui quarantine inaisha saa ngapi. Yeah, so it was really, really on a budget. So, watu wamenisaidia sana. Hao wote nimesema. I can say marketing. I feel like, especially mini dem, na hiyo time nikianza, like, it's not like now. At least now I can say most radio stations and TV stations ziko na madem pia. Like, there are a lot of female producers now and female hosts. But that time, like 2016, like when I was starting out, 2016, 2017, most of the stations and shows vitu zote zilikuwa zimedominatiwa na the male, the guys, and not all of them were genuine. Yeah, I had a guy who would only play my song if I would go on a date with him. So, and I don't know that. You know, niko tu naive. Mtu anakuambia, I believe in you so much. Uko like, oh my God, thank you. Ako simu. Uko like, oh my God, thank you. Unajua, kuna watu wanajuanga kulove bomb wase. Uko like, you're going far. I'm going to put your song on rotation on this and this. And you're just like, oh my God. See God now. See God. Then anaanza kupigia usiku. Form, uko wapi, unajua tu. Then ukianza kuwalenga, unaanza kupata, hiyo rotation ni kama imeisha. I think that was one of the challenges, just like marketing. And also like, even besides being a female, tu kupenya, it's like, say at least kuna wageni. So, wako more receiving. Hiyo time maoji wengi, wanataka tu kuendelea kuongea na maoji wengine. Una get? Sasa mse kama Wahuu akipigia mse wa Kiss. Si ni best yake, so amekuwa kwa industry pamoja. So akimwambia, kesho na kama atasema, come tu. Basi sasa mimi anijui. Ati naweza mpigia atasema unajua, so hiyo gatekeeping pia ilikuwa tricky. Kabla uweze kupenya ukiwa msanii mkubwa, unless you have someone who is in the industry already, like who's vouching for you, it's really, really hard to maneuver. It really is. And that's why you have people who do PR, because that's a whole niche. Wanajua kwa msanii mpya gatekeepers hawata kucheza nyimbo zako. So, jua wamekuwa industry for long, wana take your opportunity, wanaifanya na kuwa busy. Ndio waweze kupigia wasee wa kusikize. Because now I'm saying, like the way I've said, there has to be someone who vouches for you. So, mtu wa radio akiona msee wa PR anampigia na anamjua this is a person who brings quality artists, that's the only way atakubali to come kwa radio station. Which I get sometimes, it's like a quality control thing, because I can't just pick everyone's phone call who says they're a musician and play their songs on radio. There has to be like a quality control, and they're also busy people and they have lives. I get it. Your time's gonna get, I was just like, Mona, I'm working ngoma zangu. But right now it makes sense because I understand. Like, imagine when mekwambia ile competition tulikuwa like 1,000 people. Imagine all those 1,000 people wanakupigia simu, I have a song, I have a song. It's really difficult. So they have to have someone they know that can vouch for you. Yeah, so yeah, and you have to pay for that most of the time, unless umeangukia upate tu mtu amekuaminia hivyo. Yeah. Beki alienda Sauti Academy, by the way. Basi sasa mimi nani angenilipia Sauti Academy? You have to pay fees. Na mimi nilikuwa campus already hiyo time, so it's like I have to choose. Utaenda campus ya masomo ama ya music. Na hiyo si kitu ya kuambia mama yangu. My mom is a very African parent. Ati wache course yangu, degree yangu niende music school. She thinks at the back of a parent's mind, they want to support you in the best way that they can, but they also want you to be realistic in their terms. And in her mind, realistically, and I feel, as much as you're doing music and it's really cute, it's so cute, and people like you for your music, you have to be also realistic with life, and you have to finish a degree and get a job. Music is not a job. So I don't think she'd have paid for music school. I feel like if she had all the money in the world, I know she'd have paid for it, but already tunajifinyilia kulipa like campus, then mimi nikuje niseme nataka pia kwenda Sauti Academy. She's like, girl, one step at a time. So vitu kama Sauti Academy ni vitu zenye maybe mimi ningetaka kujilipia, but also I feel like what I really understood from people like Becky, the things that she learned in school, I can teach myself. Yeah, say kuna school of YouTube right now. Back then 2015 2014 maybe YouTube ilikuwa imeshika sana kama sai, but right now you can even Google like the alphabet, everything is on YouTube, so you can teach yourself. I think the most important lesson yenye ningetaka kwenda kusoma shule is just like the business aspect of music, like copyright and stuff like that, contracts. Yeah, but in terms of like singing technicalities, learning an instrument, you can do that on your own now. You don't need to go to school. Yeah. I think for me, for what I've understood with performing, confidence is great, but that won't make you a great performer. Being a great performer just takes practice. For you to become a good performer, you have to actually perform. The only way to be able to be great at it is to actually just perform. I think watu wenye nakwanga wajanja sana wakianza kufanya music, it's like when you're in the beginning stages, just do free shows. It's good for practice. But like ukae home useme unangoja shows za kulipa, just go out there and just like perform. Ndio wewe ukiperform day one, ukiwatch your clip back ujue siku nili overdo performance tu stafanya hivyo. Performance tu angalia uko like hapo nili underperform. It just, you go as you improve. It's not a confidence thing. The people who are really confident and they really suck at performing. Yeah, it's not a confidence thing. My first performance, when was this? Hey, nimekozeka, jeez. Honestly, I don't remember. What was I? But I think the first time I ever performed with someone after high school was with Becky, her Sauti Academy graduation. Nilimsaidia kuperform. After that, honestly, nimefanya performance mingi mpaka sijui gani ya kwanza. But enye iliniaibisha the most, hiyo ninaweza kuambia. Enye iliniaibisha the most was the one I did with Nandi. Nandi from Tanzania came to Kenya to launch her album, and the person who was managing her team in Kenya was my friend. His name is Werunga. He does PR for artists. So he was like, this would be a great opportunity for you to, perform, just to engage with Nandi's audience. I was like, why not? So nikaenda perform. So ilikuwa like kuja tu leo. So nikaenda rehearsal. Ilikuwa tu like sound check. I think ilikuwa like rehearsal because yeye ndo alikuwa na rehearse. Yeah. Na I think walikuwa wamefika tu hiyo siku wa rehearse, then show ni usiku. I think ilikuwa tu sasa I think walikuwa na rehearse home. Mimi ndio nilikuwa hapo sija rehearse. So time ya kuperform, watu walikuwa wametoka TZ. They were just doing sound check here. I think they were already rehearsed kwao. So ikikam time ya kuperform, the thing about me is when hiyo time like nikiwa mchanga kiasi. Ona when nikiwa mchanga, sasa niko mkubwa. But back then it really freaked me out when I felt underprepared. Like if I don't go through something a couple of times, your unpreparedness, and sometimes it's not that I'm singing is singing, it's not that I'm not prepared, and I am, but your thought ya kufikiria, oh my god, I didn't rehearse enough, it makes me nervous and it just messes everything up. So going to the stage, I was already sure I was going to mess up because I had under rehearsed, when that shouldn't be the case whatsoever. Because sai mnaweza kuja hata tuimbe hapa like 1 hour na hakuna rehearsal tumefanya. Na pia tu when nimesema experience, ujazoea kuperform, so ujazoea kufanya ati unaweza rehearse ufanye tu twendeni stage. Hiyo time nilikuwa nashangaa, so nilikuwa na tense, you could hear my voice shiver. Hata nijaribu kuifunika aje, nilikuwa naimba it was really bad. And then it was in front of a lot of people. It was a lot. Alafu hizi my launch za album mostly nahanga wasanii, like other people in the industry. It was really nerve-wracking. Nilikuwa off key the whole time, but I just winged it. The confidence was there 100%. Like I've told you, confidence is not what makes you a good performer. It's being prepared. So sikuwa prepared, so confidence iko 100. Nilikuwa nimeshika moves huko, but naimba tu nothing. Yeah, that was my worst performance ever. I think, honestly, they probably happened in the same night. So, both worst and best. The best performance or the best time was when Conscience came to Kenya, and I was doing vocals for him. He chose me to do vocals for him. Yeah, so alikuwa to Twitter akasema like anakam Kenya na anataka vocalists wawili wamsaidie kufanya backups za wa Kenya. Yeah, and then in return watapata like a free record from him, like watam produce like a song or like a collab. I don't think it was very specific, but I just knew it was going to be something to do with Conscience. So mimi nilikuwa nimelala home. I always have friends who look out for me. So my friend called Faith. Hi Faith. She sent me a link. She was like, girl, you need to apply. Like it's just a matter of sending a video of you singing. And I already had tons of videos of me singing on my Instagram. So I needed a screen record, took on Instagram, and then I posted on Twitter, and then I tagged Conscience. And then just like that, he chose me. It was really weird, but yeah, I guess alipenda. So after many choose, everything just happened really fast. He chose us, and then he sent us like a track to record. Hiyo song yenye nafaa kutu recordia. Tulikuwa nafaa kutuma vocals wa mixie huko Jamaica. So then after that wakakuja Kenya, and then we used to go for rehearsals. It was really nice. Like it was a really great experience. Sasa shida ikakuja hapa. So what I could tell, like this is I don't want to shame anyone. I'm just hoping that people can learn from this experience, like especially like event organizers and just people who are in charge of like events in the future. There's a special treatment that came with the international artist, and then so wengine tulikuwa tunatreatiwa vibaya sana. For example, even in terms of like eating, unless our kina Conscience wakuja tuambia, guys, come and eat with us, tungekaa njaa. Because the event organizers walikuwa wanashughulikia tu team ya Conscience pekee. And I'm just like, we are part of the team, we are singing with them. Tuko kwa band site na rehearse. So how can you tell me that haujatufikiria ukibaya like band food? Do you get it? It's the small things. And even when tukifika tu hivi, immediately that someone from the event organizers alikuwa nakuja, and she would ask them like if they need anything, but no one ever asked us like if we needed anything. They'd be picked up, dropped from the hotel. They'd have bottles of liquors, imejaa huko, like they had everything, and then us tuko tu hapo, like it just felt really weird. And then the thing is, if mtu akikuja kutoka nje and then ana feel hivi ndio mna treat yangu, mbona yeye akutreat any different? You get? Of course they can see. Of course. Hakuna kitu wezi ona. No, I'm sure walikuwa na tell like kuna special treatment. Anyway, that was not bad because I'm just like, it's okay. Mimi nilikuwa nimeshajipanga kuja rehearsal set, nilikuwa nataka team ni feed or anything, like I had planned for myself. But then it came on the day of the event. So the last rehearsal, Then the next day we were supposed to go to the event. So I'm like, we were supposed to get a couple of tickets, a couple of advanced tickets. Na it was a backstage access because tuna perform. So Conscious is like, make sure you get your tickets for the performance tomorrow, because I think tutapatana tu kwa event, it make sense. They were like, ama you guys can come to our hotel tuende pamoja, but then ikafeel tu ni kuimpose kwenda kwa hoteli yake na Conscience kukaa na wao, itakuwa tu ni kama unawaimposia. Na ulikuwa na feel tu amesema hivyo kama kata si ndio msifeel left out, but yeah, so akasema just get your tickets from this event organizer, ndio mkuje tu kesho direct tupatane kwa venue. So we talked to the event organizer na tuzungusha. She's like, oh, nitatuma, sawa. I'm like, akasema nitakutumia kwa WhatsApp hizo tickets. That's fine, right? The next day, the event is supposed to start at like 7. It's 6 bado hajatuma tickets the event. Na unajua kuenda kwa event kuna traffic mob sana. And the people that I was riding with, when you watakuja na mimi kwa gari, hawezi kuja kwa event, wakai kwa parking lot the whole time wakiningoja. Sindio? I had to have tickets for everyone that I'm bringing, like my team. So naogopa kuwaleta all the way to Ngong Road and then tufike hapo, then hakuna tickets. You get. That was just really weird. And then when we got there, everyone is using their phone at the same time at the event. So hatukuwa tunaweza kupigiana simu. In the beginning we were able to reach each other. The other guy who was singing with me alifika mapema sana because alikuwa anaishi tu opposite the event. So aliweza kuingia. So mimi nimekaa hapa, kuna line refu wase wamejaa. It was just really aggressive. Watu walikuwa wameanza kupigana, wanaangushana. It was just really scary. And then we were trying to get into the event, huo bouncer anataka kutupiga. He's saying that we are lying, we are not part of the event. If we were really part of the event, we'd have our tickets, which is true. You know, huwezi kutuambia bouncer mimi niko kwa event, hakujui ameandikwa kazi hiyo siku. So it's not his fault that he doesn't know who we are. So hata watu wengine walikuwa wanakuja na with the biggest cars and they still couldn't enter the event because kama una ticket, which is fair. The bouncer had no problem. The only issue was the aggression. Like, he didn't have to beat up like the people that I came with. Do you know, like, we were there from like 7 to like midnight at the gate waiting to enter. It's only it had to be Conscience mwenyewe ndo anatukujia, alipigia someone atukujie. Do you see how unprofessional that is? That lazima Conscience mwenyewe ndio apige simu mtu atukujie kwa gate. It was just really off. And then when Conscience akapiga simu tukujie kwa gate, tulikujia na the biggest car and like an escort. And I'm just saying, this is just so weird. And then when we get to the event, I was so upset. I was crying. My friend amechapwa. And then they want to start apologizing to me. And they're only apologizing to me because they don't want Conscience to see me crying. You see, this was just a weird night. So my takeaway from this whole situation is just like, everyone is an artist and we are all performing at the event. Akufai kuwa na special treatment. Yes, I guess I get it. This is a headliner and he is a legend. I get that. But kunafaa kuwa na basic humanity for the rest of the people. Hata kama kutakuwa na special treatment to feel, ni sawa wewe akiwa na special treatment, ni legend. But at the same time, watu wengine wenye wanakuja kwa event kunafaa kuwa na like basic humanity. They could have, and all of this could have just easily been avoided if they had just sent the tickets in advance. It was just one of the worst nights of my life. But also getting there and just like calming down and getting to go perform on stage, and then uone hao wasee wenye wako hapo, hauwezi kasirikia watu hawajakufanyia kitu. They're just excited to see you and they're happy and they just want to hear you sing, so you just forget and then everything is magical. But the things that happen behind stage, backstage, no. Yeah.